Hey everybody, in this video we're going to talk about Wirestock.io, and more specifically we're going to talk about the Adobe exclusive program that they have, as well as take a little bit of a deeper dive into the Instant Pay program and the extra channels. So if you're not familiar with Wirestock, I definitely recommend checking out my Wirestock overview video. I'll put a link up here. Also, you can check back on my channel for other Wirestock videos, as I've been producing a few more, including one that's coming out here soon about the good, the bad, and the ugly aspects of Wirestock, and additional videos too. So if you're new here, I'm Joel. I'm a filmmaker and photographer, and on this channel I basically share my experiences both with film, photography, as well as some of my travel adventures. So if that's something that you're interested in, be sure to subscribe, or even just give this video a like so I know what kind of videos I should be creating. But first, let's go ahead and go over a really quick recap on what Wirestock is and how does it work. Wirestock.io is an online stock agency and aggregator where contributors can upload their images, their videos, and their vector files to the platform itself, as well as for distribution to other multiple agencies like Shutterstock, Adobe Stock, Dreamtime, etc. To use Wirestock is free. They do take a 15% commission off of any royalties you earn through all their partner sites. Although in the case of Wirestock direct sales, which are basically any sales that are basically earned on the platform, then they take a 30% commission. So if you're not using Wirestock yet, but you are interested, you can use my sign up link in the description if you'd like. Okay, with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and take a deeper dive, starting with the option to submit to Adobe exclusive, and is it worth doing so? So Wirestock has a special program with Adobe Stock where contributors can sell exclusively through this Adobe Stock exclusive program. So basically the program offers a 40% commission for any images that are sold through it. So this is only slightly higher than the normal 33% commission that you would normally get through submitting a non-exclusive image through Adobe Stock. Of course, submitting exclusive means that you can't submit that same image anywhere else, just through this program. So Wirestock's Adobe exclusive program has a few kind of caveats. For one, it's got a limited number of categories that you can actually even submit to. So it seems like every month or two, they end up changing these categories out. And from what I've been able to see, there's just 3 categories that you can submit to. So before planning on submitting to the Adobe Stock exclusive program, I definitely recommend checking out their webpage where it kind of gives you the latest on what categories they're currently accepting. I'll put a link here on the screen as well as in the description below. Now, another thing is that when you go to that page, you can also submit your images directly to that page or through the regular submission process. So my take on this, personally, it doesn't really seem worth it to me for such a small bump in commission. I mean, you're far more likely to earn a greater income by taking your images and putting them on multiple other stock sites, especially these as a non-exclusive, especially considering you're only going to make an extra 7% commission. Now, going exclusive could be a good strategy for you, especially if you're earning a much larger commission, like say 60%, or if you've got like maybe some really niche assets that are selling really well on a certain site. Then, you know, maybe if they have that site has an exclusive option, it might be worth doing that. So what is the Instant Pay program? So if we look at Wirestock's FAQ about this, it says the following. The Instant Pay program partners with several platforms who pay for content in advance on a one-time basis, as opposed to paying per download. I searched Wirestock's FAQ, their blog posts, and anywhere else I could find out a little bit more information about the Instant Pay program. I wanted to know, A, who they were partnering with, and then also, like, what were the terms or what were the lengths of time that your images would be licensed for. So the only information I could find about this was a mention of free picks. So I reached out to Wirestock directly to see if they could give me a little bit more information, and they confirmed that as of now, our main Instant Pay partners have been Adobe Stock, Shutterstock, and FreePix. So then when I asked about the term length for any images that were accepted into the Instant Pay program, they responded as follows. The term lengths for the IP or Instant Pay program have been set up for 2 years in some cases, also unlimited lengths, such as in the case with FreePix. So in summary, once an Instant Pay partner, or in this case a buyer, purchases that content, they can distribute your content across their platforms, like internally, or they can resell them essentially as their own stock offerings as part of their pricing structure, or they can also offer them for free for the length of the license term. So that takes us to Wirestocks, Instant Pay partners, and their term lengths, or license term lengths. So images selected by the Instant Pay partners have different terms. We'll start by looking at Adobe Stock. So Adobe Stock offered a 1-year term, or a 1-year buyout, in order to add images to their Adobe Stock free images library. So this is just like what they did in 2021, where they offered a flat fee to certain eligible contributors. As far as Shutterstock's concerned, based on Wirestock's response to my question about the Instant Pay program, I couldn't get a direct answer on the term for that, but we can deduce from their answer that it's most likely a 2-year term. Now in the case of FreePix, you're looking at an unlimited term, which of course means forever, which is probably likely a bad idea, especially if you're looking at trying to, seriously use stock photography as a long-term investment, or even just as one of your passive income sources. So that brings us to whether or not you should submit to Wirestock's Instant Pay program. So when you do submit your images to the Instant Pay program, not every image you submit will actually be selected by the program, meaning that your most commercially viable images are most likely going to be selected by the program. So in this case, that means that your images might be tied up for 1 to 2 years on the shorter term, or forever on the long term, or in the case of FreePix or sites like it. Now, when Wirestock did this, they have negotiated separate rates for each of the different partners. And what I've been able to find out, it looks like it was somewhere between $4 and $5 gross per image that were selected for the different Instant Pay partners. It looks like most people's Wirestock take on that, what they actually earned from that after the fees and everything, was somewhere around $3.40 to $3.85. Considering that, also remember that depending on which agency those images might get onto, it could possibly cannibalize some of your sales, at least in the short term in the case of, say, Adobe Stock or Shutterstock partners, or in the case of something like FreePix or a site like it could cannibalize sales on those images or even similar images for basically forever. And finally, you have zero control over which Instant Pay partners your images are going to be offered to. So unlike the choices that you do get when you submit as a regular submission to, say, something like Adobe Stock or Dreamstime or Alamy or one of the other regular distribution partners. So then I have to ask you, what do you think of this program? Let me know in the comments below, what your thoughts are, or if you've had an experience with this. So personally, I can only really see this as an option for maybe images that you perceive to have a really low value. Maybe perhaps some images that are either really unlikely to sell or have maybe barely sold for you, or maybe just aren't populating when people, maybe they don't have very good keyword search results or something like that. But even with that, how likely is it that those images will even be chosen for part of the program, considering they're looking for higher value images anyways? So now, how exactly is the Instant Pay program different from the other program that Wirestock offers called Extra Channels? I reached out to Wirestock for a little bit more clarity on this, and this is what their response was. Through the Instant Pay, the buyer, aka the other party, can distribute it through their platforms according to their pricing model. But in the case of Extra Channels, the other party cannot distribute the content. They can only be used for their project. From what I've been able to understand, the partners that Wirestock has for the Extra Channels essentially license images to use directly on their own platforms, in their own projects. So kind of think of it as more as internally. But unlike the Instant Pay program, Extra Channels partners cannot redistribute those images from Wirestock. Okay, so that brings us to essentially what are the extra channels and should you be submitting to it? So from Wirestock's FAQ, it reads, extra channels provides you with additional opportunities to make money with your content. We constantly seek new partnerships with brands, stock photo agencies, print-on-demand marketplaces, API integrations, and other platforms to expand the market of our creators and maximize sales for every image uploaded to Wirestock. So now with everything that I've read, it seems that Wirestock is actually continuously looking for new companies to partner with via its extra channels. Now in the past, they've actually partnered with Canva, 123RF, and Science Photo Library. In fact, they might still be partnered with those or some or all of those, but unfortunately, there's not really a whole lot of information on that, which is a little bit irritating. One thing to note is if you do choose or submit your content through the Extra Channels program, Wirestock will actually internally choose which of those images that are submitted to them that they want to then offer to each of the different partners. So now I also asked Wirestock to whom and where my Instant Pay or Extra Channels content is to be licensed to. And their response was, it's not available at the moment. However, we do share information with anyone that is eager to know. So I guess that's something, but it sounds like you're gonna have to go through like their customer service and ask them to find that information out. And then when I asked, can you remove your content from the Instant Pay program or Extra Channels after it has been licensed? They responded, images can get removed from the IP or Instant Pay program if need be. So ultimately it seems that the Extra Channels may be an option for additional sales that I personally would feel a little bit more comfortable with for the bulk of my images, especially versus the Instant Pay program. I really do like that Wirestock is actively looking for new opportunities for its contributors. I would just prefer that they had a little bit more transparency with the Wirestock programs. Having said that, I would like to see Wirestock give contributors the license terms and the partner information ahead of time. And additionally, I'd like to see them offer the option for us to select which of those Instant Pay partners that we want to submit to, just like the option we have when submitting to other stock agencies like Shutterstock, Dreamtime, or Alame. All right, so that wraps up this video. If I missed anything, or if you have any further questions, please leave those in the comments below, and I will try to address them in a future video about Wirestock. If you learned anything from this video and you're interested in becoming a contributor, then I'd definitely say thanks by using my referral link in the description below. I'll get a referral commission that comes out of Wirestock's 15% fee and doesn't affect your earnings at all. So thanks for watching, like, subscribe, and you can follow me on my socials, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.